You know, some people told me banks are corrupt. I just listened. You like to give the banks the benefit of a doubt. I used to believe that the bank is a trustee and a steward of your money. It works to not only safeguard your money, but at the same time, it helps you earning some money as it invests your money in several different investment portfolios for your advantage. It is supposed to be a safe place for your money, and people who are in the investment must have a security certificate. In the 21st century, today, where things are computer technology focused, and they want people to do things online and help themselves, especially when the bank becomes a retail business for money, this is supposed to be security. A safe place for your money is just a thing of the past. The bank is no longer a trustee of your money and a safeguard of your money. They take your money and trade it and lose it. The person who suffers is the customer, while the bank makes millions or billions using your money. These people love to make big money. They love to play around with big money and make big money. They love to keep your money and eat it too. The evil is started. Customers become their means to an end. It is all about making money, making millions and billions of profits at your expenses. So, what people told me is actually true. Any of you bank with the CIBC, the Canadian Imperial Banks of Commerce, it is corrupt. It is full of thieves, scammers. All are colluding to steal your money. Identity theft, crimes. People are liars, rude, ignorant, irresponsible, abusive, controlling, forceful, demanding, and just simply evil. I'm going to share with you our terrible and awful experience with the CIBC. My husband has been a customer of this bank for 55 years. I was with this bank for 31 years, and our son was also a customer of this bank for 15 years. We all being bullied, treated like criminals, treated unfairly, and totally ignored. They stole our money. Yes, they stole money from three of us. By the way, people praise CIBC as a reputable bank because of its sponsors events, spectacular events including 150 Canada. But this bank does not have good character. I remember when I applied for a job at the Smith Falls branch, I received a reply saying, "We do not need your help." I think during that year and a decade after, I was still the only colored person in town. Now, people work at the CIBC are people of many colored, especially in the big cities, and they are mostly from a certain country. Why? It is politics. Remember the company called iTechnology? Beginning from Prime Minister Harper, it lobbies the government continually to have the banks to hire people they bring into the country. The bank employees are required to train these people and then they are laid off. These newcomers replace them, but then they start stealing our money and your money, of course. Pay attention to every penny you have in the bank, especially in the CIBC. It is no longer safe. These people steal from you. Here are some of the things about the CIBC. First, lies. When we took the mortgage, we were told you can pay off the mortgage earlier, no penalty. We tried to take advantage of this policy, no penalty, by paying off our mortgage earlier. To our surprise, the girl at the branch said there is a 3-month penalty. So, the no penalty at the front door is just a gimmick to get the customer signed in. But then, such promise does not really exist. It is a lie, isn't it? Second is honest and deceitful. When we finished paying off our mortgage, they sent a letter congratulated us for paying off the mortgage. But at the bottom, there is written discharge fee $189. I called the bank using the number written on the letter, asking about this discharge fee. The girl on the other end said, that is because you pay off your mortgage. Isn't that something? When you finish paying off your mortgage, you just finish. There's nothing to be charged. It is finished. They want you to live on mortgage for the rest of your life. If you finish, they charge you a fee for that. That is dishonest. Before you before our mortgage expired, they sent us letters, several letters. They want us to take on loan up to 75% of the value of our property. Interest-free loan. It is the same as a reverse mortgage, but they never say it in their letter. Reverse mortgage is usually targeting the elderly ages 60 and up, but poor in cash. They give you the privilege of borrowing the money up to 75% of the value of the property, but they take possession of your property. They even let the elderly not to pay at all until one dies. If one of the couple dies, the bank takes possession of all their properties. The survivor spouse is sent to the retirement home or nursing home with nothing. Nothing for the children. All properties are gone. The bank takes them all. That is why they force you to take on loan. They want to clean you. They make money from you even when you die. They still make money from you. By the way, people who take on reverse mortgage die poor. So this letter is kind of deceitful. Then after this bank centralized its customer service around the country and then expanded to India, theft and fraud are starting, and it is continuously spreading within this bank, especially among the customer service who work only with one initial. They started stealing people's money, especially the elderly or the elderly widows and the small guys such as us. After 2013, they also steal the money from students, who are the student loan borrowers. They steal from the students after the students' data went missing from the Ministry of Human Resources, Skills and Development. You know why the minister never authorizes the investigation? Because the person who stole the data is the political staff. The person then works with the bank employees, not only the CIBC but also with the Royal Bank and Scotia Bank, where they work as customer service, and begin stealing the money from the unsuspected students. I will talk about this later. The CIBC people, the CIBC employees encourage saving continuously, either those at the branch or through online. They call you on the telephone and want you to invest here and there. This online things makes it easy for the customer service people to transfer your money around the world. When they see your money grows, they start stealing. Because the customers are being served by the customer service, all the customer service people collude with the people at the branch through their electronic records. So they support each other and justify all the fraud and thefts. They do work orally more than using or having legal papers. They don't know legal papers. They are also forceful. They demand that you must follow whatever they say. They start acting as if they control you and they control your money. They do not want you to withdraw your money from your saving. Have you ever heard any bank personnel tell you to seek money from other sources while you have money safe at the bank? This is what the CIBC people do to us. In 2007, Prime Minister Stephen Harper secretly created a private company called Canada Revenue Agency Corporation. I call this fake Canada Revenue Agency or fake CRA. It was established without mission and objectives, but simply to make money and to take over the real Canada Revenue Agency at the expense of the ignorant citizens. Remember, Prime Minister Stephen Harper said in the House of Commons several times that his leadership or his political party is to govern without the government. So he wants to take over the CRA and controls all the resources, including the government and the people, without the government, but using public resources. It is similar scheme Hitler did with the German public service. He took over the public service. This private company works like the customer service of the real Canada Revenue Agency, and they bribe the real CRA to allow them to issue the GST and HST papers to registrants. After 10 years, they know that the Canadians are gullible and do not know the difference between the paper issued by the real CRA and the paper they issue. According to the real CRA, their papers, I mean the papers issued by the fake CRA, are custom made. They are unofficial papers. They pay the CRA personnel who work in the files of people they prey as their target victims. All the papers they issue are unofficial papers and never go to the recording process at the real CRA. These custom-made papers make it easy for this fake CRA to fraud people. Lawyers and police cannot tell the difference between real and fake. They also pay the bad cops, the frontline cops, to shut their mouth, or if there is any report, just ignore it. Since the Canadians are gullible and cannot tell the difference between the papers from the real CRA and the custom-made papers issued by the fake CRA, as of 2016, the fake CRA has requested that they send or issue notice of assessment to all. Canadians are not aware of this change, but over time they will lose their pension because these people have been taking people's CPP contribution, their HST payment and refunds. Now they make more money not only from people's CPP but also from the provincial government benefits and other social benefits. It is quite a political movement, political crime. It is like a snake when it eats its prey. slowly until the prey cannot breathe and dies of suffocation. One thing interesting about this CRA corporation or this fake CRA is the executives and employees. The commissioner and chief executive officer is a former bureaucrat, a former deputy minister, William Baker. Other executives or the board of management are former politicians, including former Minister of National Revenue, Carrie Lynn Finley, who was appointed as its member of board of management in 2015. The personnel are the political staffs and failed politicians. Seeing how easy it is to make money, they started with their scheme of fraudulent audit, which tax lawyers and the police cannot see it as a fraud because they are using the name Canada Revenue Agency. With this fraudulent audit, they start freezing and stealing people's money from the bank with the help of the bank employees. Soon after Prime Minister Harper took over the power, he authorized the privatization of the CRA. Tasks are outsourced or contracted out. Contractors must sign a contract with the CRA before they can do the work for the CRA. Some of the contractors are people who used to work for the CRA because the agency only hires people who have experience in the agency. Why laying them off in the first place? Because the agency has been privatized. The corruption began to spread widely inside the CRA. The fake CRA keeps bribing the real CRA people that they will allow them to issue papers to citizens. It is about taking over. It is about making money from gullible citizens. As the corruption and the freezing and stealing of people's money become worse in the CRA, in 2013, Prime Minister Stephen Harper closed the door to the CRA so that the citizens will not know all the illegal practice and crime inside this agency. The people in this private company bribe the people inside the real CRA continuously. And Prime Minister Harper didn't want the citizen to know about the bribery and corruption that have been spreading widely in the CRA since 2007. Because he won the election in 2006 due to his fierce accusation of Prime Minister Kretsching and Prime Minister Martin's corruption. He wanted the citizens to think that his regime is clean. On the contrary, his regime is full of illegal practice. Illegal practice, yes. Criminal activities are widely spread within the government organizations. Forgery has become a common practice in the government, even at the Senate and police units. Staffs all forge the leader's signature. Forgery is a crime. Closing the door to the CRA from the taxpayers is very, very unacceptable. Until today, no one is allowed to have access to the CRA office, but through the telephone only. If you happen to go there and want to meet with someone in the CRA, you can only use the telephone at the front entrance. You are not allowed to talk to any person. Harper did not want people to know about this fake CRA that is slowly taking over the CRA at taxpayers' expenses. He did not want the public to know about the widespread bribery and corruption inside. He does not even want the public to recognize the fake people inside because the people share the same building. It is the reason why the CRA works with post office boxes or mailing addresses. The fake CRA people are the customer service of the real CRA. I mentioned this before. They filter the information to the CRA. They sabotage the information and keep the information for themselves and start chasing after people's money by bribing customer service people from the banks like at CIBC, including those who issue checks at the Receiver General's office. After bribing the people inside the CRA, the people of this fake CRA bribe the banking people so that they allow the fraud or they participate in the fraud. They put in the electronic note accusing people not paying taxes. You know that accusation is evil. It originates from the devil. And the devil is the father of all lies. They bribe the CIBC customer service and all collude, including those at the branch, to steal people's money directly from their bank accounts. As customer service, the CIBC customer service it is, are also part of the corrupt gang of this private company to steal people's money by accusing people that they do not pay taxes. It could also be that the people from this fake CRA are also the customer service of the CIBC. Because when you work as a customer service of a company, you can also be a customer service of other companies at the same time. You know, King Solomon says, when the leader is corrupt, the subordinates are evil. I'm going to show you how they become partners to fraud on behalf of the fake Canada Revenue Agency or fake CRA, and how they steal our money or how they steal your money. Those who have become their victims of this fake CRA and the CIBC. Yes, they steal money from three of us. This fake CRA is like a customer service to the CRA, to the real CRA, and they are the gatekeepers, just like this client care to the CIBC. So beware. Greed and negligence. This bank likes hiring people who can sell money. In fact, all banks like their employees to sell money to customers. But at the CIBC, selling money is overly emphasized. You must sell and sell and sell, or you will lose your job. Once they see that you have money or your money is growing, they persuade you to invest in mutual funds or stocks. In fact, stocks are very exciting to them. They just like to take all your money and invest in stocks or mutual funds. They're excited about the stocks. It is very attractive. The work is, as I overheard one told his colleague at the bank, very hectic. It makes you very busy. They manage to persuade the elderly or the elderly widows to invest in stocks and mutual funds. I don't understand why the elderly want to invest in mutual funds. They're old. Many elderly do invest in stocks, but then they lose all. They trust these bank employees who promise them big returns if they buy stocks or if they invest in stocks. The bank people play around with the customer's money for the excitement of it, not as a steward or a trustee of the customer's money. Once they lose, the elderly suffer. The bank makes money because they charge fee for keeping their eyes on the stocks. Their aim is making money for themselves, not for the customers, or they just want to get into the excitement of playing around with people's money. Others invest in GICs. They keep adding more and more portfolios, moving from one portfolio to another, thinking that you forget your investments. So they take it. They change the name on the GICs to their name. The people in this bank are no longer trustworthy. They are liars, they are thieves. They pay the police to ignore the case when people report it. You cannot even file a complaint to the politicians because, as in our case, the politician in charge of the police board works in the CIBC. Fraud and participate in fraud. Defrauding us was started with a man named R. Rivera, which is not his real name, claiming he is from the Canada Revenue Agency or from the CRA. He sent a short electronic message to someone inside the CIBC at the branch number 33342, which is the Securities Inc. of the CIBC, and the message was recorded by the operator number MA1811, which could also be the manager MA. This person is Edward Wong. Edward Wong then froze my husband's account that he could not withdraw any money. He just could not have access to the bank accounts at all, including the mutual funds and his TSFA. We do not know the exact date when the money was frozen. My husband could not withdraw money from the bank on May 6, 2016. He was so shocked, surprised. Do you know the Excise Tax Act says the minister will issue a letter 30 days sent by a registered mail if she was going to seize a person account. The person who is going to do the seizing, or the person who is given the authority to seize, is the sheriff. But the sheriff cannot do any seizing without a written consent from the minister. Interestingly, tax lawyers do not know this, or they only carry the name tax lawyers, but without learning of the tax law itself and how the government makes people to pay taxes. But orally, Rivera, which is not his real name, instructed Yannick Myers from the North York branch to take our money from my husband's account as per his electronic message. Do you know that this kind of message is illegal? The real CRA never does this kind of thing, but the fake CRA people do because they work to make money from the innocent citizens. They have their people inside the CIBC to justify this illegal practice or justify this crime. The message says, as you see it here, court order. But there has never been any court order, even until today. No court order. When there is a court order, it should come directly from the court, not from Rivera. He says requirement to pay, but this is not the process the real CRA does. A real requirement to pay must be signed by the minister because only the court can issue garnishment, nobody else. The real CRA never sends any electronic message and asks the third party to take money from someone's bank account and give it to them. Even a manager from the real CRA, Alan Green, said they never do such a thing. Before the minister asks the third party to forward money on behalf of a person, the minister must send a written notice with a registered mail to the person 30 days before she asks the third party to forward the money. C states her intention to ask a third party to pay the amount of taxes the person owes to the Receiver General. Taxes paid belongs to the Majesty. Again, only the sheriff can freeze people's property, including the money in the bank. This electronic message goes to the CIBC Securities Inc. Edward Wong because Rivera knows that we do not have all the cash money he wanted to have. Therefore, he sent this message to Edward Wong to withdraw our money from our investment. He wants over $38,000. This message, which is received by the manager number 1811, means that he should transfer half of the money to a bank account number 131462046R30001, and the other half goes to the other account, GOW number 465155. The first bank account is actually my husband's HST number or his business number. The fake CRA duplicates people's HST account number or their social insurance number. The real CRA has warned people about the people, or they didn't want to say fake CRA people, duplicates people's account number and their social insurance number. From the first bank account, Rivera told Edward Wong to transfer the money to an offshore bank account, which is an account at Scotiabank branch in South America, either in Mexico, Costa Rica, or Chile, as shown in the voucher and the following slide. Who says this is about not paying taxes? If it is for paying taxes, the money should stay in Canada. It should go to the Majesty the Queen under the account of the Receiver General. It should be deposited to public treasury account, not to a foreign country, and in an individual bank account. It must be his account. How about the other account, GOW number 465155? This is an account from where they used to pay ISIS, which was created in 2013 through the Friends of Syria. And CIBC is the active payer of ISIS. To Yannick Myers, he asked the money orally. He instructed Yannick to take all the cash. Do you know that the real CRA never freezes people's bank account and clean their account without people knowing? If people owe taxes, Alan said they send a collection letter with an agreement letter to pay in installment. People comply with this scheme. If they don't, they go to court. The only person who can freeze people's account is the sheriff, but only with the minister's written consent. People from this fake CRA just rob people using the name CRA while they are not the CRA, and with the help of the CIBC employees. This is a fraud. Therefore, the person who freezes our bank account is the CIBC employees themselves, Yannick Myers and Edward Wong. This is evil. But lawyers do not know the CRA process and the Excise Tax Act, while some police are paid to close their eyes. They are all bribed, including the political staffs of the active politicians. I wrote to our MP. No reply because they're all together. You cannot make a contact with the MP unless you pay them money, $1,500 per MP. That is ingratitude. How do you become politicians? Computers elect you? Wealthy people elect you? No, The wealthy buy the politicians, but the poor make a man politician. But they close their eyes. Remember, I mentioned earlier, these people at the fake CRA duplicate people's account number or social insurance number, and the real CRA has warned people about this. No one pays attention. They think they are safe. Rivera asked Yannick to transfer half of the money to this HST account, which is actually also owned by someone inside the CRA, fake CRA, and his social insurance number is 131142046. This number or this account was opened at the CIBC in 2009. Whenever we pay taxes, either using check or via online, the money would be posted to this account. Then, from this account, the money is transferred electronically to 27 or 29 different accounts out of the country. All the payments since then never reach the real CRA or the receiver general. They are cash, but then they are just a pass by. They are transferred to different accounts. How about the refunds? The refunds are also posted to this account, and my husband never received the refunds since 2012. When I complained about our payment never reached the CRA, the real CRA told me that the taxes we paid went to that person. When I complained about the refunds that my husband never received, no replies at all. All people at the CRA shut up. By the way, the fake CRA people are the front door or the gatekeeper to the real CRA. That's why they sabotage all the letters you send, important letters you send to them. They block all my letters of complaint. Notice also that the transit number, which is the branch, is the Securities Inc. CIBC Securities Inc. But the person who takes the money, the cash, is Yannick Myers. He is from a North York branch, and the scam letter is addressed to 199 Bay Street and 22 Front Street. They do not match, nothing much. They do like this to avoid and just to fool the police so that the police cannot find them. And they have been successful for 10 years. They are customer service. They work from different places together. So this is how the CIBC people work together to steal people's money and transfer it out of the country electronically to the fake CRA people's bank account. This is the voucher Rivera sent to Edward Wong by fax. Since the cash money he instructed Yannick to take is not enough, Rivera sent a fax to Edward Wong with this voucher. He wants Edward to take the money from either my husband's mutual fund or TSFA and send it to his bank account at the Scotia Bank branch out of the country. This is in South America country, either Mexico, Costa Rica, or Chile. In the CIBC's electronic record, they accuse my husband not paying taxes. Only a fool would believe that this is the CRA. This is a fraud, and the bank employees are hiding and participating in this crime. The real CRA never does this kind of thing. I go to the real one, and they said they never do this kind of thing, including sending electronic message. They always work in hard copy. And of course, these things are recorded officially. Notice Rivera's contractor number 9891. He wants the money to be sent to his account at the Scotiabank branch in South America country. But first, the money has to be posted on the account number 131462046RT0001 because this is the main account. Rivera's telephone number is no longer working. It is out of service. It is my husband's account, but belongs to someone else inside the fake CRA. A person works in the fake CRA can also work in the CRA because most of them are political staffs who work as the door or as the gatekeeper to the real CRA.